Alright guys, today I got something pretty special for your face balls. This here happens to be another TwoSun knife. This is the TS-134. It's called the Shockwave. And this one here is by Tepe Designs. And it is a pretty impressive knife. You can see here it's in M390 and really nice blade shape. Just a pretty cool knife overall. So yeah, let's get into it. So we'll start out here with a few size comparisons. Honestly, I think the best one here is the Spyderco Paramilitary, Para 3. That's the lightweight version. And here is Spyderco Manix 2. And we also have one of my favorites, the SK Blades Inferno. So you can see here that it's definitely not a huge knife. And yeah, so what we're looking at here is an overall length of 7.3 inches. You have a 3-inch blade, that's including the choil, and a handle length of 4.3 inches. So what you've got here is a cutting edge of about 2 3/4 inches, and that's measuring it straight, so it is a little longer with the belly. But in the hand, this is a really comfortable knife, even for a guy like me who's got big, huge hands. This thing works out pretty well. So it is just over half of an inch thick. It's 0.54 inches thick. And the scales are contoured, you can see here. Blade thickness on this guy, you're looking at 150 thousandths. And thickness behind the edge, it varies anywhere from right at 20 thousandths up to about 22 thousandths out here by the tip. So, you know, it's a pretty decent cutter. It is a flat grind. Like I said, it is in M390 steel. Titanium scales, and you got a really nice pocket clip. It's got decent ramp. It is pretty deep carry. You know, you'll have just a little bit of the knife hanging out of your pocket. It is offered in a few different colors, and so check it out here. Blade centering is right on. Action on this guy, it is riding on ceramic bearings. It does have a ceramic detent. Blade isn't extremely heavy, so you got to kind of shake it down. But I also have not had this very long at all. It's super smooth. You can, or maybe I can. Yeah, you can Spidey flick it out. Because the scales are a little thicker, with my fingers, that's a little hard to get in there. I mean, you can do it, but I end up pushing a little bit on the lock bar. So flipper tab works best for me, but with smaller hands, I'm sure spider flicking it will definitely be an option. And so yeah, there you go. I can do it left-handed if I'm not pushing on the lock bar. So this guy does have a lock bar insert with an over travel stop. And like I said, it is a ceramic detent ball. And it is a little heavier than you would think. This titanium backspacer that's in here is pretty large. There is some weight relieving done inside here, and for a 3-inch bladed knife, you get the scale out here. We're looking at 4.5 ounces. So, like I said, it is pretty heavy for a 3-inch bladed knife. However, it does feel pretty good, really. With the way the handle's designed, it's got kind of a large ass on it here, and so, but it fills the palm nicely. Pocket clip just kind of melts into your hand. There's really no hot spots or anything from that, and so, you know, it's not an overly large blade by any means, but a nice little knife for sure. And again, you know, the quality of TwoSun just is impeccable for the money. I can't remember exactly what I paid for this guy, but they're going anywhere from, I don't know, 60 or 70 bucks up to $130, something like that, maybe even 150. I've seen them. I'm thinking that I paid somewhere around $70 for it. And so, for all grade 5 titanium milled clips, ceramic bearings, ceramic detent ball, over travel stop, hardened steel insert, it's just a really, really nice knife for the money. So while we got it here, let's go ahead and see if we can take this guy apart real quick. I actually have not taken this apart yet, so I'm not sure exactly what we're going to see. And that's one of the really nice things. Like, none of the TwoSun knives that I've dealt with have had any Loctite on them at all, which is great. None of the hardware has come loose on me at all. So these knives are machined extremely well. And all the hardware, with the exception of the over travel or the hardened steel insert, is all number 8 Torx on all the knives I've had anyway. I'm sure there are some others that may have a different size hardware, but let's see if we can get this pocket clip off of here. That's pretty tight. Oh, there we go. Wiggle that up off there. So, like I said, there is some weight relieving done. Oh, there's some kind of a mark in here. Oh, it looks like it just is the number 4. Well, it just looks hand done. And you can see these washers that they do for the ceramic bearings. They have the milled recess in them. Just really, really nicely done. The stop pin for the blade. It's an internal stop pin. You can see there the ceramic bearings. And there'll be a pocket there for the other bearing. I'm just going to leave that in there. It's not dirty or anything. And with just about all the TwoSun knives, they have a really nice detent ramp. These are just really, really nicely done knives that are well made, especially for the money. This one here, unlike most of them, you can see here that this one here is numbered. I'm not really sure if that's I'm gonna guess that's probably a 99 or a number 990, or it might be 066. I'm not really sure. Either way, none of the other TwoSuns have ever been numbered like this, so I'm not sure if that's a limited edition thing or what. But really well done. Nice chamfering around the opening hole here on the spine of the blade. You can see there is a little bit of swedge here. No real sharp edges or anything. It is flat across the spine of the blade, but the edges are all really nicely chamfered and really well done. Same with the finger choil. You can see the really nice chamfer around the finger choil area, and grind lines are really spectacular. Logo's done well, and the Tepe logo is also done extremely well. So yeah, just a really, really nice knife. So getting to the other side here, you can see what I mean here by this one also has the number 4. So obviously they're keeping track of the parts and pairing them up. That's kind of interesting. But you can see this backspacer here is just kind of a really large piece of titanium. For as much weight relieving as they did internally to the handles or the scales, I would have thought that they would have, maybe cut the middle out of this, because this actually is probably, well, here, let's pop this hardware out of here. We'll get down to just the handle scale itself. Maybe. Trying to get that washer out of there. There we go. Here, let's see what the weight difference is here between, because it doesn't feel very different really. So just the one handle scale weighs 1.124 ounces. Zero that back out. And just the back spacer. Oh, I guess it's a bigger difference than I thought. Man, it doesn't feel, this feels pretty substantial. It must just be because it's so much smaller. But yeah, this is just a fairly substantial chunk of titanium. So yeah, but otherwise, you know, the construction on this thing is just extremely well done. Like I said, you know, it's just what I've come to expect from TwoSun these days. They just do a really great job, and I really kind of dig this color. It's a purple color. You can see the pocket clip and the back spacer have a little bit different coloration to them, but I actually kind of like it that way. When I first opened it up, I thought it was kind of strange, and I thought maybe that the handle scales just maybe didn't take the anodizing as well. But actually in the sun, they look kind of bluish in different light, and it's kind of a neat effect. So I really kind of dig it. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this back together. That longer barrel spacer goes back there for the clip. Shorter one goes in here. And like all the TwoSun knives, the machining, like I said, is excellent, and so these things are super easy to disassemble and reassemble. And I'm going to assume that this one is no different. So go ahead and close the blade there. We got our washer in, just like that. That pivot screw. Sorry for the extra bits rattling around in this handle. This just happens to be the tool that I had laying closest here. Should have been a little more prepared, I guess. I wasn't planning on taking this apart. However, I do think it's kind of cool to see the inside of these things, and especially when there's some nice machining like that, and some nice weight relieving. I'll tell you, TwoSun knives, you know, they're mainly only sold on eBay, and I think there is some, I don't know, AliExpress or DHgate or whatever. I've never been on those places. I have heard that you can buy them in those spots, but it's not something that I do. But I get them all on eBay. They're free shipping. So let's see here. There's no blade play up, down, left, or right. Definitely a little bit tight. Still no blade play. Back her off just a little bit more. Yeah. Still no blade play there. Let's see, are we centered? No. Too loose. Now we're getting there. No blade play. Yeah, really smooth. Almost kind of, you know, hydraulic. And so I would say this knife definitely has some fidget factor, but for the money, you know, you just really can't beat it. You know, you got an American designer that, there we go, that, you know, is pretty popular. He's got the new Hornet knife out that everyone seems to love, and that looks like a pretty cool piece as well. He's also got a new TwoSun knife that just came out. I think it's the TS-180. It also looks really interesting. It's also an M390 in titanium. But this one here is the Shockwave, the TS-134. And as you can see, it's a pretty neat piece. So, yeah. If you like it, go and check it out on eBay. And have a good night, guys.